Hi everyone, I'm Shelly from There's No Place Like Home at redheadmom8.wordpress.com. I'm going to try to keep today's video quick because my kids are out jumping on the trampoline and you never know what's going to happen then. But I really wanted to continue to encourage those parents who feel like they have been thrown into a situation that they were not prepared for with having the schools closed and having their kids home with them. So today what I want to talk to you about this. It's a public service announcement actually. Kids don't need school to learn. So I have been seeing post after post after post on social media of parents who are frantic because their schools have shut down for the rest of the year. And a lot of these parents are feeling fear because they think that their kids are going to kind of have a time where they have no learning happening at all whatsoever. And that is something that I really wanted to talk to a lot of you about today. And this isn't even something that only, new parents who have been thrown into this need to hear. A lot of times, even homeschooling parents who have been doing this a while need to hear it again as well. They need a reminder. And, it's true. Kids don't get stagnant in their learning. Kids learn naturally all the time. And your kids do not need to be in a school setting in order for that to happen. Think about before your kids were in school. They were learning constantly. They learned how to crawl without school. They learned how to sit without school. They learned how to walk without school. They learned how to talk without school. They learned how to tie their shoes without school, how to feed themselves without school, and often how to say their ABCs, how to write their name, all without school. And, first of all, we need to just stop thinking about this whole academic idea of learning, that there are only certain things that are truly worth learning. That's not the case. Yeah, a lot of the things that your kids will learn in school is helpful, like how to read, how to do math, basic math, like addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. But here's the thing. School is not the only place that can happen. And there are a lot of kids who learn completely removed from the school setting. Sometimes they're not even homeschooled and they learn how to do these things. My mom taught me how to read at home when I was 4. Yeah, I went to school, for the rest of the years once I started kindergarten, but I already knew how to read by the time that I got there because my mom had taught me because I wanted to learn so badly. And this is entirely true for your kids. What they need right now in this time that they have home, they need time to detox from school. Let them enjoy themselves. Let them start exploring the interests that, they really don't have much time to explore when they do have school going on. Some kids might be sitting around a lot because, yeah, that's part of the detox process. They sometimes need that. But what I want to remind you is that just because they look like they're not doing anything doesn't mean that their mind is not doing anything. So what brought this about really was because I have seen a lot of parents talking about these packets that they were told to bring home from school and that they were told to do. And some of the teachers have been giving out like hourly schedules for what they should be doing with their kids. And I've seen things about color-coded charts. And you know what? Your kids don't need any of that to learn. In fact, if you are going to actually try homeschooling them during this time, you probably want to take those color-coded charts and those hourly schedules and toss them because they are going to bring you nothing but stress. Kids don't need to be micromanaged in order to learn. They need to be set free. They need to be given the freedom to explore those things that they want to and to really go deeper into them than any textbook would ever allow it to happen. Your kids can learn just by watching you, the parent, do things at home. They can watch you by seeing how you manage daily life, and better yet, by participating with you in this daily life. Let them bake with you. Let them cook with you. If it's safe and if you feel comfortable with it, take them shopping with you. It's sad to say that, but during this time we have to. But let them be a part of what your life looks like. Because I'll tell you what, knowing how to bake is a lot more of a useful skill than knowing quadratic equations. There, I said it. And there are probably a lot of math teachers out there who are like, oh, Did she really say that? But it's true. Baking is a more useful skill for most people than knowing quadratic equations. I said it. And again, I want you to remember that learning doesn't have to look like school. You don't have to do everything exactly as your child was doing it in school. Your kid doesn't need to be sitting at a desk. They don't need to be spending 6 hours a day doing things. Let them sit on the floor in the living room to do it. Let them sit on the couch. Let them wear their pajamas all day long. And you know what? I would honestly say that if those packets of schoolwork aren't completely mandatory, I would really kind of see if you can encourage your child to learn without them. Again, I want to say if they are not mandatory. I don't want to get anyone in trouble by saying, oh, someone on YouTube said that I don't have to do these. No, I don't know what the rules are with that stuff. But what I really just want you to know is that no, your kids don't need to be doing stuff like that in order for them to be learning. Take photosynthesis, for example. Your kids don't need a worksheet or a textbook to learn about photosynthesis. Take them out in the garden with you while you're working in the garden, while you're planting vegetables together. Talk about photosynthesis and how it's useful as you're actually doing something that is going to help them in not just their academic life, but in their everyday life. A useful skill that they are going to likely need the way that things are looking nowadays, the way that a lot of people should be living. We should have these more useful skills that we've kind of lost sight of because we've been so focused on that school building and on the things that they're learning in school that a lot of kids are not prepared for what life is really all about. Take this moment to do that. Take this moment to bond with your kids. And while you are doing these things, I want you to keep reminding yourself, kids don't need school to learn. If you have a child who is awake, it's really hard to keep them from learning. Just give them lots of things to do. And again, I know it's hard because you can't be out and about like you normally are at this time. But spend time together with them and they finally have time to use their imagination. Let them use their imagination. And I want to remind you that you're going to hear a lot of I'm boards right now, simply because they're so used to having other people telling them exactly what it is that they have to do with their time. That's another reason that I think that these schedules are really not useful, because your kids need to be able to learn time management. Yes, some sort of a routine is very helpful with most kids, knowing that things go in a certain order. You know, first we're going to have breakfast, and then I'm going to get dressed, and then we're going to go for a walk. But don't be a stickler with thinking that you have to follow some color-coded chart or hourly schedule to the T, or else you are failing your kids, because it's not going to happen. Your kids are learning all the time, with school or without. Anyway, that's all that I have for you today. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed yet and would like to hear more of what I have to say, I would love if you would do that. If you have any questions or comments, you can leave one over on Instagram because YouTube disabled my comments. And if you like my work and would like to check out my Patreon page, I will leave a link in the description box for that as well. And I hope you have a great day.